Annyeonghaseyo, or hello. My name is Nikki, and I'm here to talk about being black in Korea. I know this is a pretty thought about topic for those of you who want to either go and teach or go and study. So I'm here to talk about a couple of my experiences. I lived in Seoul for 6 months attending Korea University, and I must say I've had my fair share of occurrences while I was in Korea. I personally think they were funny, and it's just all a part of learning about a new culture and sharing your culture with others. So, if you're very sensitive about being asked personal questions, or if you don't like being stared at, if you don't like people touching you, or anything of that accord, then I advise you probably don't go. Because if you're really sensitive, you probably won't have a good time. You probably will, but it just makes it easier if you are not that sensitive about it. Um, Personally, I am multiracial. I am Irish, German, Native American, and black. Um, so it was kind of funny when I went over to Korea. I had many people asking me what I was because I'm not the stereotypical very very dark skin, so they're kind of wondering what I was. Um, so I had to explain to them that I was partially black and other races. And then I get the questions, the stereotype questions that, oh, if you're black, you must dance and sing like Beyonce, right? And you have to like fried chicken. I'm like, okay, it's completely coincidental that I like chicken and I can dance. I can't sing, but I like chicken and I can dance. Not all black people do, though. I know some that don't like chicken. I know some that can't dance for their life or sing for their life. So that's just a stereotype. I also had another instance where I was interviewing a native Korean girl, and I was asking her what her initial opinion of black people were, and her experiences in America. She said the first thing she noticed when she went to America is that she didn't realize how many black people there would be, and she was terrified. Primarily because of everything that's shown on like the television and YouTube and the internet about the stereotypes of all blacks being ghetto, all of them trying to stab somebody or trying to fight somebody, and that's all they see a lot of the time. So like the rappers talking about drugs and stuff like that. So predominantly they see a lot of black people as that. So when there's those of us who don't fit that stereotype, they're kind of like, they look the part, so they must act the part. So it was a little disheartening and sad to know that we're all lumped into a group, but that just kind of pushes you further to try and disprove that stereotype. Um, there is other instances where they were just afraid of me when I said hello. One student I said hello to, he literally jumped like 2 feet in the air, like, oh, and he tiptoed away like I was going to attack him or something. And I was like, oh, okay. I was just trying to be friendly. And I said hello to this little girl. She was around 3 or 4. I love kids. I was like, oh, annyeong. She started crying. And she ran away to her mother. And I was just like, I'm so sorry. And I started bowing, saying, 죄송합니다, I'm so sorry. The mom started laughing. Same instance in an orphanage where the program I went with, they took us to an orphanage to play with the children. And a lot of the children at first, they only associated with those who are white and those who are Asian in our group. They completely steered clear of those of us of color. So it kind of hurt my heart a little bit to see that they were afraid of us. But after a while, they started warming up and wanted to play with us. And it just goes to show you have to have patience and understanding when going to other cultures, especially when all they see are bad things. You know what I mean? So that's another piece of advice. Just have patience. If you get stares, if people point at you, or even go as far as they want to randomly take a picture of you. I had that happen before. That was pretty funny. I was playing with a stray cat. They're adorable, most adorable cat. It just came up, sat on my lap, and went to sleep. I had these kids run over, and they're like, "Oh, Omo, Koyangi, is that your cat?" And I'm just like, "No, he's a stray, but he's just relaxing." And he's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can pet him." Like, "Oh, can we take a picture with you?" Sachin, they mixed English and Korean together to try and learn. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And they took a picture. And then I had people randomly taking pictures thinking I wasn't looking, or in the airport, because my program, we got there like 10 hours early, so we got bored. And another student and I started randomly doing cartwheels and stuff in the airport because we got bored. We had people recording us on their phones and taking pictures, and it was hysterical. But I know I went on a tangent. But it just shows that as long as like you try to be friendly and not rude and just in people's faces, you can kind of change their opinion of you. You know, don't take it to heart if they assume something about you, because it's all about what they see in the media. You know, there's especially like we do the same thing when it comes to assuming all Asians are short. That's a lie. I saw 6'2" Korean men walking around, and I'm just like, I'm 4'11" and 3/4. I almost 5 foot. I'm gonna add that 3/4 in there, and I'm just like, I can't get a break. Everyone's taller than me, so it just proves like stereotypes are kind of messing up everyone's minds of things, you know? So I'm gonna leave it at there for now. And if you have any other questions about life in Korea or customs or weather or how to be prepared, just leave everything in the comments and I'll be sure to make a video about it. So I hope you enjoyed and thank you for sticking around. Ciao! Annyeong!